What do you think about this whole situation going on with Tyreek in Miami?
I love Tyreek. I think he's a great player. He's a special player, special talent, but it's one of those situations where you think the grass is greener on the other side, and then you look up and it's just grass. And you're like, hey, I chased the money and now I'm unhappy because the money doesn't fill the void that maybe winning is more important than money. And now he realizes that, but it takes losing to realize that. It literally took him to go against the team that he played for and to them to beat him in the playoffs and go on to win a Super Bowl without him, and sometimes that is a shot to the ego. And I'm sure that was a shot to his ego in that playoff game to lose to your former team and then to watch them go win a Super Bowl without you, go continue to thrive without you. They're 15-2 this season, haven't really looked back since you left. Won back-to-back Super Bowls since you left. So it's one of those situations where it almost feels like, hey, I'm going to show these guys, I'm going to go get my money, and then you guys are going to see how much you miss me. And then you realize, damn, they don't miss me that much. They're not even thinking about me. Like, damn, they just going on. Like the train kept rolling. Maybe I wasn't that important. Maybe I was just a cog in the wheel. And he is a special player. He went to Miami and had a lot of success, had an incredible season, but this wasn't anybody else's doing. They didn't force you out of Kansas City. You had to go get the money. You had a price that you wanted. Now, if you're saying you'd rather take less money to win, that maybe that's growth. Maybe that's maturity. Maybe that's a different stance than you're used to. But I think this is just him being emotional. I don't know if Miami would be open to trading him. They had to trade so much to get him in the first place. I think they traded, 2 first-rounders for him and paid him max money. I don't know if another team is going to match that, especially, after the year he had. He's getting older. Everybody gets older. But maybe there's a team out there that is willing to pay the price Miami paid for him to get him to come to them. But I highly doubt that's going to be a winning team. And that's the thing. You saying I want to go to a winning team. There aren't any winning teams that are minus a number one receiver. Like, of the teams that are 1 and 2 and 3 seeds, maybe Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo can be convinced. You talk about Philadelphia, they have A.J. Brown. You talk about Detroit, they have Amon-Ra. Or they have Jameson Williams to do that job. You talk about Baltimore. Could Baltimore use him? Perhaps. But are they trading 2 first-rounders? I highly doubt it. And so those are the situations you run into where you're like, I don't know if you'll be able to get back to where you were unless Kansas City is like, hey, We'll take him back, but I guarantee you Kansas City is going to do that for a reduced price. Maybe they give you a third rounder, and a fifth rounder, and now they get Tyreek Hill back. I mean, that sounds like the kind of stuff that happens in Kansas City, Mitchell. So I don't put it past
them. That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, hey, the grass is not greener on the other side. I'm going to go back to the lawn I was mowing before. Tyreek Hill, the situation in Miami is wild, but yeah. Can you blame him? I don't know. I mean, Richard, you had that winning mentality in your veins always as a player. Could you imagine playing for a losing organization when you're entering 29, 30 years old, when you're still in that prime of your career?
No, I'd be really frustrated, but I don't think I'd be looking externally to change that. I'd be looking internally. I was, selfishly, or I guess ignorantly, I always felt like no matter what situation I was in, like we could improve it to win a championship. Like we always had the pieces. I always felt like, hey, if I'm there and our team is like, if we all play together and we trust each other, like it's almost like ignorance is bliss kind of deal. Like it was my youthful ignorance and energy. And it worked at every level. In high school, we came in, our high school hadn't been past the second round of the playoffs in like a decade. And we were freshmen with a bunch of kids who had never played football before. They were all flag football players. And then our sophomore year, we all played JV. And then my junior year, we all moved up to varsity and all our varsity guys left. And so we had a really young team. But we went to the championship my junior year. We lost. Then my senior year, we pulled it together and we won the championship by over 30 points, I believe. And fast forward to Stanford, we go 1-11 my freshman year. By my senior year, we're 12-1 and win the Orange Bowl and number 3 in the nation. And then you fast forward to Seattle, who had never won a Super Bowl, who had never won anything. By my third year there, my second year, we should have probably won a Super Bowl. But by my third year, we're winning the Super Bowl, beating one of the greatest quarterbacks in the National Football League's history by 35 in the Super Bowl with the best defense, one of the best defenses to ever play. And so I think you sometimes have to look within and really just, hey, if you're that kind of guy and you feel like, hey, I'm a special player, I feel like the guys around you are special, then you got to start investing in your team and investing in your teammates and invest in the things that help with winning and the things that take no talent, the camaraderie, the friendships, the bonds. And I think that's what I've always worked on investing in. And he's an incredible talent. I understand his frustration, but I don't know if the Miami Dolphins will be up. He doesn't have the control he thinks he has. So I don't think they'll just let him out of there.
This is not the NBA, and I we'll see what happens this offseason with him.